What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? BizzyDad here, you there, and Happy New Year. It is officially 2017. We are into the new year, and what a great way to kick it off with new videos. And this is a first deck profile of the new year. But before we get into it, as usual, just because it's a new year doesn't mean we change things around here. I want to say hello to my newest subscribers. Here they are in at the bottom. And it's the same as every time. I just want to say thank you to everyone who checks out my videos, everyone who likes and comments. The discussion is great, but a really big thank you to everyone who subscribes to me and keeps up with my videos. It's really the reason why I keep putting these up, is because I always get these emails. You have a new sub. You have a new sub, which is crazy to me. I do love it. It really is cool. And we just keep going. We're over 300, and something I didn't think it was going to grow this big. I mean, who knows? Hopefully now, let's just keep going. Blah blah blah, on and on and on. So thank you very much to the new subscribers. Welcome to my longtime subscribers. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So let's get into this profile for the deck I call the Blue Steel Sleepers, and we saw this on a face-off I had against Mike, who was putting together a Lumia deck. He's still working on that. I know I got requests to put the deck list up for both, but Mike is still tinkering, and I know he's probably going to want a rematch. So I'll probably give him that rematch, and once he's happy with his deck, I'll post that list up too, because Lumia seems to be tough to build for. You know, the perfect. I didn't pull her, so I haven't really put much thought into her. But we will eventually get her. So Mike is working on that. This is a mono blue deck, and it seems that lately I've been trying to keep it really simple and seeing what I could build with just mono colors. I had the mono green Feetsing, the elf deck that works surprisingly well, and here's just a mono blue, and it's called the Sleepers because it is a deck that wants you to go to sleep. This is another one of my usual long drawn out attempts of just slowing the pace down, keeping it to a crawl, frustrating you, stopping you, and eventually just setting up for the big kill. And this deck really is put together to rest your Resonators, steal your Resonators, send Resonators back to your hand, just keep you frustrated, keep the opponent from building a presence, keep your opponent from really getting anything going. And as we saw in the face-off, it worked really good, but that was just one game. This is really something that as you'd want to put together and then tinker and test with cards in and out that you want to do too. And before we get into it, I also want to say that I get a lot of comments and messages from people who are using my deck and actually winning, coming in first place in tournaments, second place, third place, top four, wherever they get. I love it. That is amazing. So great. Congratulations to all you guys, the people that take my decks and then switch some cards in and out that they like better. That is great. So I love hearing all the discussion and really like to see that. So let's get into it. Here is our ruler. It's Charlotte, the Determined Girl, a human ruler with the judgment of 2, 1 blue and 1 of others. So really cheap judgment and an energize. You could see if you don't go first, then you get a coin or a token that lets you produce 1 blue will at any time. Her ability is 1 blue and discard a card, and you can rest a target Resonator. So you're going to see as we go into this deck, it's impossible to have the answers for everything your opponent might have, but this deck does a pretty good job at handling a lot of things. It has a lot of answers for things, and you guys know me, I'm a reactionary guy, counterpuncher, defensive. So here's a blue defensive deck. It actually works really well. That front-facing ability we use to our advantage too when we need to. So let's flip her over. We're going to pay 1 blue and 1 of other, and she becomes Charlotte, the Mage of Sacred Spirit, a human. She's still a human J ruler, 400 attack, 1200 defense, and this card cannot be attacked, which is nice because if you do judge and flip her over, you won't feel too vulnerable with calling a stone or even slipping in an attack if you have an opening. When this card enters your field, draw X cards. where X is 5 minus the number of cards in your hand. So basically, this is when you flip her over, you get to draw up to 5 cards. You get 5 cards back in your hand, which is really nice. That's a good answer that we have. Also, whenever you draw a card, you gain 100 life, and that is right away when she comes in. So if you don't have any cards in your hand and you flip her over, you're going to draw 5 cards, you're going to gain 500 life. That is pretty good. And then from here on out, for the rest of the game, every time you draw a card, you gain 100 life, so that is really good. She still has an ability for 1 blue, 1 of other, and discard a card. Return target resonator to its owner's hand. So we see the ability on both sides. It's a little more expensive on her J Ruler side, but instead of resting, you return a resonator to its owner's hand. And one good thing about Charlotte is that it answers a really tough question or problem or something that you come up against that is really crippling, and that is discard. This deck can battle a discard package, which is really important. Discard is death. I say it all the time. And every time I come up against somebody who plays dark cards and plays the discards, the Dark Storms, the Nameless Mists, now with the Fox, everyone's running the Manticore and the Pheasant to just make you discard. This deck has answers to it. I hate discarding. I hate having hardly any cards in your hand. So keep that in mind too as we go through the deck, because Charlotte and the cards in this deck also help you draw and just keep your hand with cards, which is really important. I said it is mono blue, so we really just run 10 blue stones. I'm not going to put all 10 out here. You obviously get it, but here they are. Just 10 blue. It's really as simple as it gets. So let's get into Resonators, and we'll start it off with 4 copies of Alice's Little Scout. It's a 1-drop Soldier Resonator, 200 attack and defense. And when this card is put into a graveyard from your field, draw a card. So it replaces itself. Alice's Scout is really good. You could swing away with her and, take damage whenever you can. You don't care if she dies, because when she does die, you're going to get a card out of it. So good draw, good replacement mechanic, Alice's Scout. What can you say? Good 1-drop. All right, 4 copies of Charlotte's Protector. This is a 2-drop Heroic Spirit Resonator. And when this card is put into a graveyard from your hand, draw a card. So what's important about that is if you have to discard out of your hand, you could discard the Protector and you get to draw a card. So again, just replacement effect. And we also use that with Charlotte's ability because it says to pay a blue and discard a card to rest a Resonator. So that why not? Why not just use this card, draw a card out of it, and rest one of your opponent's Resonators? Pretty good card, and goes real well with Charlotte, of course. So we have 4 copies. This is a shift card, so I want to show you the way it has to be sleeved, but this is the side we're going to play. It's 3 copies of Slayer, the Beast, Priscia, but the shift side is the Possessor, Princess of Love, Valentina. This is the card we want to play. On the blue side, it's a 3-drop. We're going to play it for the blue, so 2 blue and 1 of other. It's a 12 Apostle Resonator, 500 attack and defense, and when this card is put into a graveyard from your field, gain control of target Resonator. So this is great. When she dies, we get to steal one of our opponent's Resonators and just take full control of them. Not much else could be said. It's really strong. Opponents don't like to see this card. They try to deal with it. There are cards that can deal with it now, more and more. But when this card comes on the field, if your opponent can't get rid of it and she dies, we get to take one of our opponent's Resonators. So really good. We didn't get to see that in the face-off. I never got to draw it to her. But it's definitely a card worth having. And here is one of my reasons why we have her, and one of the changes I made. In the face-off, I had Uriel, which was I had 3 copies of her, and it was a Resonator that when it comes to the field, you rest one of your opponent's Resonators. But Adamberly is great. Cthulhu Resonator, 3 drops, 600 attack, 800 of defense. But you don't really pay the 3. You always incarnate, and that's banishing 2 Resonators. And depending on what color of the Resonator you banish, you get bonus effects. That's why there's all this text on the card. We're only playing blue in here, so basically the bonus for incarnating blue would be to draw a card. But what we want to do is, ideally, we want the Scout and the Shift Valentina on the board. If we can get these 2, we can incarnate both, banish them both for Adamberly. So when these two hit the graveyard effects will hit first, so we'll get to draw a card with the little scout. We'll get to take one of our opponent's resonators with Valentina, and then because we incarnated blue for Adombrally, we get to draw another card. So that play is really strong. We bring Adombrally in, we get to steal one of our opponent's resonators, and we get to draw 2 cards out of it. It's pretty effective, and if your opponent cannot cancel it or has no way to stop that, they're going to lose a resonator, and you're going to get to draw 2 cards out of it. And Adombrally has 800 defense, so it's not that bad. It's a pretty good play, and I think Adombrally is a little more of an aggressive card, a better replacement for Uriel, because we have other ways to rest our opponent's resonators. We didn't need another one with Uriel, who could be picked off with just a kill spell, because she only had 500 defense. The Puppet, 4 copies of Valentina, Puppet Monarch, a 4-drop, another 12 Apostle. She's also a human, 2 blue and 2 of other to play, 800 attack and defense. And when this card enters your field, gain control of target resonator your opponent controls as long as this card is in a field. Yeah, I'm trying to read the full art text and it's tough. Sorry about that. But basically, it's the same as our others. And the other Valentina, when she dies, we gain control. This one, we gain control as soon as she comes into the field, which is really strong. The only hitch is that if she dies, if the puppet leaves the field for whatever reason, we lose control of that resonator. But that's okay. Again, it's just that disruption. It's the frustration. It's taking control. So Valentina comes out. We gain control of one of our opponent's resonators. And then now they're down. It's a 2 resonator swing. If you think about it, we actually gain 2 and they lose 1. So that's pretty good too. Always good to have her in the deck. Finally, last resonator in the deck is Captain Hook, the pirate. 3 copies of it. It's a 5-drop fairy tale resonator. 2 blue, 3 of other to play. 1,000 attack and defense. And this is a crippling card. And I'm sure you guys know this card. When this card enters your field, you choose 1. Put up to 2 target special magic stones on top of their owner's magic stone deck in any order, or return up to 2 target resonators to their owner's hand. So if you play somebody who runs a lot of special magic stones, Captain Hook is a crippler because he comes out, you get to put 2 of their stones back on their deck. Even if they don't, you can put 2 of their resonators back to their hand. And he's a steep cost, but he's definitely worth it. With Charlotte, the Energize, you could get him out on the 4th turn like I did in the matchup. So just a tough card to deal with, especially if you don't have any way to answer it. So let's go into spells and abilities. So first off is 3 copies of Charlotte's Water Transformation Magic. This is a card that's becoming a must in blue decks, it seems lately. It's a 1-drop quick cast chant with Remnant, so you could do it at any time. You can also play it out of the graveyard. Target resonator loses all abilities and becomes a 400/400 bear until the end of turn. Just really strong. You can turn any one of your opponent's resonators into a 4/4 bear. They lose all abilities, so they can't fly anymore. Pierce, imperishable. I'm sorry, it doesn't hit your J ruler. But Pierce, flying, all that stuff, it just becomes a 400. And then you could deal with it. You could kill it. You could take the damage. You could block. You could do whatever. It's really strong. You get to pull it out of the graveyard too. So if you have open stones, you can pop 2 resonators with this on the same turn. Just a really strong card. Sniping from the blind spot. Of course, I've run this a lot too. Return target rested resonator to its owner's hand. A 1-drop spell chant instant. So again, you could do this at any time. Wait for your opponent to attack. He swings, or she, little ladies. They swing with a big resonator. You drop Sniping, send it right back to their hand. Even one of your resonators, they attack that turn. Now your opponent's trying to kill them, remove them from the game. You have an open stone. You can play Sniping, send your own resonator back to your hand and save them. It's a great 2-way card, and it does the job. Because it's instant, makes it so worth it for 1. Speaking of instant, it's 4 copies of Valentinas Resistance. This is a 2-drop instant, so you can do it at any time. 1 blue and 1 of other. And return target resonator to its owner's hand. But if you awaken it, return up to a 2nd target resonator if it was awakened. So it costs 2 by itself, 1 in blue and 1 of other, and you could return a resonator to its owner's hand. If you awaken it by paying another blue and discarding a card, then you can send a 2nd one. So essentially, for 3 blue and discarding a card, you could send 2 Resonators back to its owner's hand. And again, this is where the Protector comes in handy if you want to use this play, because you could pay the 3 blue and discard the Protector, send 2 Resonators back, and you get to draw a card. So it definitely comes in handy. The fact that it's instant is great, and also the fact that it just says Resonator. It doesn't have to be rested, doesn't have to be attacking or blocking. It could just be standing there. Your opponent spends a lot of will to bring in a big Resonator, and you can just send it right back to its hand before it could do anything about it. It's a really useful card, even just for the 2. I like it because it just picks off any Resonator at any time. And you can see with this, the theme of this deck is always resting Resonators, returning Resonators, stealing Resonators. So it's a very frustrating deck. Very good blue control. Final card in the main deck is 3 copies of the Ancient Frozen Casket. You know I like my fun cards, so this is a 3-drop addition, 1 blue and 2 of other to play. And when this card enters your field, rest the target Resonator, and it doesn't recover during the recovery phase as long as this card is in a field. So this is the same that Uriel does, what that Resonator. So this thing comes in, and you rest one of your opponent's Resonators, and it can't recover as long as this is in the field. The same thing with Uriel, but Uriel's a Resonator that could be killed by Lightning Strike. She's only 500 defense. This one here is an addition. So if your opponent doesn't have any way to deal with additions, their Resonator is going to just sit there rested and can't do anything about it. It's going to be frozen in the casket. But the really cool thing about this card is if you pay 1 blue, you could return this card to its owner's hand. So you rest one of your opponent's Resonators. It's on there for a turn or 2. Can't do anything about it. They finally get rid of it. They either banish it, or you eventually just kill it, or it gets replaced. Something happens. This is no longer a dead card. You could pay 1 blue, bring it right back to your hand, and then the next time it's your turn, you can play it again, rest another one of your opponent's Resonators until they can get rid of it as well. So really good card. It's a steep cost at 3, but I don't mind it because it has that extra ability of paying a blue and sending it back to your hand. And actually, I lied about this being the last card because I do have one more, and it's 4 copies of Prison in Lunar Lake. This is a problem solver, especially against cards like Captain Hook, cards like the Puppet Monarch, cards like Adamberly. Pretty much the answer to my own cards is right here. This is a 3-drop, but it's used as a standby. So you would pay 2 to put this in your chance standby area face down and wait for the trigger. And what is the trigger? The trigger is when your opponent plays an automatic ability of a Resonator they control that was put into a field from a non-field zone this turn while you control a water magic stone. So that is a lot, but basically, if you control a magic stone and you put this card face down, now your opponent plays Captain Hook and wants to send 2 of your special magic stones back to the top of its deck. That's an automatic ability of a Resonator that was put into the field this turn, and you control a magic stone. So now you get to turn over the Prison in Lunar Lake, and you get to cancel that ability and destroy that Resonator, which is amazing. So Captain Hook gets destroyed, no stones get back. When you go up against the Fox and they banish their Resonators and their Killing Stone and try to bring out the Griffin or Amit or any of those Chimera, boom, you pop this. The Chimera is gone. All those Resonators, the Killing Stone is gone. They don't get anything. And it gets destroyed and canceled. So really, really good card. Lucifer comes out, boom, you hit this, no banishing, Lucifer is destroyed. So it's a really strong card and a good answer card because it seems that the Rage lately is playing these automatic ability Resonators. So Lunar Lake now worth its weight in gold. All right, so now that was the end of the main deck. And let's go into the side deck where we get a completely different look. It's a curveball. And the very first card is we're going to side in a ruler. We're going to side in the Songstress of Shangri-La, which is Xion. And Xion is a really good ruler because you get to look at the top card of your deck at any time. This helps you manipulate your upcoming plays. And we really want to side this out if we go up against somebody who is running Shackles, because Shackles will pin down our Charlotte. We won't be able to use this card, and that's just maybe a little bit of foreshadowing. We might see a card like that coming up, but Xion would be a complete curveball. Your opponent might not be ready for this switch, and then we can use the support cards to our advantage. So we also have 3 copies of Muse, the Celestial of Music. Really good card. A 2-drop Myth Resonator, 1 blue and 1 other to play. When this card enters your field, name a card type, reveal the top card of your main deck, and if it's that named card type, put it into your hand. So card type, meaning is it a Resonator, a spell, an addition, a regalia. You have Xion, so you could look at the top card of your deck at any time. You know what it's going to be. This is basically a guaranteed draw for you. Also, if a Resonator you control would be dealt damage less than its defense, prevent it. So if you have a Captain Hook and you get the Muse on the field, the only way your opponent's going to be able to kill Captain Hook is if they hit him for 1,000 damage. If they hit him for 900, it's not going to do anything to Captain Hook because it's got to be his full defense. So, good card. I run 2 Hydra Monicas in here because these are the only 2 I own. It's Xion's Regalia. You can rest and put the top card of your main deck on the bottom of the main deck, and you could pay 1, rest and banish it, then search your deck for a card and put that on top. That is a really strong ability. The full cost is resting it and paying 2 and banishing the Hydra Monica. But if you have Xion, you only have to pay 1, so it's a little bit of a discount. But don't underestimate that ability. Going to get any card you need and putting it at the top of your deck is really strong. Hydra Monica would work in a lot of decks. Just because you can't see the top card doesn't matter. You know what card you need, and you can always just use this ability to put that card right on top and then draw into it. So, pretty good card. 3 copies of Laying the Foundation. It's a 2-drop instant. You can do it anytime. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your main deck in any order. So that's really how you can stack your deck. Put the cards you want on top. Xion can judge for 3, and then when you flip her over, you get to reveal the top card. And if it's a Resonator 5 or less, you can put it right into your field. So that's how you can set up putting Captain Hook on top of your deck, then flipping Xion over, revealing Captain Hook. He comes right into the field. That's how you can get Hook into the field for 3 on a Xion judgment. But Laying the Foundation is good. It lets you draw and then put cards back on order and top however you want. So I said Shackles, and here it is. It's 3 copies of Shackles of Ice, a 1-drop edition, 1 blue, and as long as this card is not bestowed to a card, players cannot play Ruler's activate abilities. So that's for both sides, but this is the answer to Dark Alice. This is an answer to Mikage. This is an answer to anyone who's playing a Ruler that has abilities on their Ruler side, not J Ruler. And so this would actually pin our own Charlotte down because Charlotte has an activate ability, 1 blue and discard. We could not do that if Shackles is on the field. But if we have Xion has no activate abilities. The ability that says you can look at the top card at any time, that is not activate. That's a permanent automatic. So Shackles will not hit her, and that is really good. You can also bestow the card 1 blue and rest and put it on a Resonator. And it says that if you bestow it, then the Resonator that you have it on cannot play its activate abilities. Bestowed Resonator controller cannot play activate abilities. Okay. So really the Shackles is used for the Ruler, just to stop Mikage from pinging people, stop Dark Alice from exiling cards. So we have one final fun card in here, and I did get a Legacy Lost card in this deck, and it's 3 copies of Fishing. It's a 1-drop chant, so you can only do this on your turn, but you put the top card of your deck into your graveyard, and if it was put into your graveyard this way, put a XX Water Darkness Fantasy Resonator token into your field, where X is the card's total cost. So it's a little bit of a fun card, but it does serve a purpose. So we play our Fishing, and let's just say that the card we reveal is an Alice's Little Scout. So, okay, fine. Alice's Scout has to go to the graveyard, and we get a Water Darkness Fantasy Resonator. And since Alice was cost 1, then this is going to be a 100/100 Water Darkness Resonator, and that goes into the field. But we're not really worried about that. We want this for a couple of reasons. Let's say we have these 2 on the field. We can get our Resonator, our little Fantasy Resonator, and our Valentina, and then we could pitch them both for a Dawn Relief. This is really the main point about this, because the token is both water and darkness. which means you're going to get both effects when you banish for Adambrally. And for blue, you get to draw a card, but the key is darkness, because when you banish a darkness resonator for Adambrally, your opponent loses 400 life. And that is really important if you happen to go up against somebody who's running the tree deck and there's really no way to get through to Alice. This gets around it. This could just send them out and then kill them. Also, if your opponent is just weak, you can draw a card, steal one of their resonators, hit them for 400. Who knows? It might be the game. But it is a fun little card. I wanted to find a way to get something Legacy Lost in there, and that's why I chose Fishing. It's a pretty fun card, and it's cheap. It's one. With Xion, you could look at the top card. If you have a card worth getting rid of, you just get rid of it, and then put the Fantasy Resonator token into the field. Use your Adambrally, and then you get to draw, and your opponent loses 400 life. It's a pretty good play. So, guys, that is it. The profile for the Blue Steel Sleepers with Charlotte and a little cameo by Xion in the sideboard. Let me know what you think. Do you like this? Do you hate it? Leave me a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. You know, we keep these rolls going. And we have more videos coming up and going into the new year. So, as always, thanks for a few minutes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.